My name is Caitlin Cacciatore, and the poem I'm going to be reading for you today is called The Archer. The Archer. The first time you told me you loved me, it was nothing like lightning. I was not struck, the earth did not shatter or even shudder, despite the cold and the biting wind, which stole the clouds of our breath before they had time to mingle. You were so earnest, peering into my eyes, and your gaze, it was panoptic. The day you left, you never said goodbye. It was like gravity, two bodies falling apart. Finally, I felt the forking and flashing of lightning, preceding the far-off sound of thunder. And I swear I heard it, the echo of the electricity I hadn't felt then, sparkling, sizzling on the southbound A train, 2 stations shy of your stop. Love's arrow having missed its mark by miles, and more years than I cared to count. And you, the archer, immortalized in the act of aiming, without release, without relief. I'm the kind of person who feels things very deeply. So writing poetry is essential to how I process the world around me. I write because I love the English language and its literature. I love language in general. The nuances of it fascinate me. The way you can layer shades of meaning and just how malleable the medium of words is. I also dabble in other written mediums, but I always return to poetry because each piece is sort of like a microcosm of my world, a small slice of my truth. I also write short stories, though I've only had one published. I have had essays published, and I also am trying to work on my debut novel. Okay, so these poems are about someone who was once a dear friend of mine. I loved her so much, just not in the way she needed or wanted to be loved. The poems tell the story of this love. The Archer is about a moment very early on in our relationship, when she first told me she loved me. As I note in the poem, it was nothing like lightning. Sweet Summertime speaks to what happened as the summer of our relationship slowly yielded to autumn. It's a poem about the death of a relationship and the way our hearts still hold on, even after it's over. On the other hand, The Names of Love is a meditation on the varying kinds of love one might encounter. It's by no means a comprehensive list of the forms of love, but it chronicles my own journey through the woman I have loved, from first love to true love to young love, to love that is not love, until it is love lost. When our relationship fell apart, something that had been happening for many months prior, I remember this. She sent me the last rose of summer from her garden, and I was reminded of Thomas More's poem, about a similar rose in the fall of 1805. This poem is about that time, and I quote, "When friendships decay, and from love's shining circle, the gems drop away." My suite of poems is very much an ode to the people destined to stay with us a short while before falling away, like 2 celestial bodies becoming untethered, like gravity itself is not enough to hold them together. All right, if you want to write poetry, you need to be extremely receptive to the world around you. Seek out beauty. Find that moment that makes you go, wow. The one that feels like a blow to the chest, and write about it. Be present. This is great advice in general, but for the writer, it's vital. Your mind is capable of generating such a wealth of ideas that you would need lifetimes to write them all down, as long as you feed your muse regularly with new ideas and new experiences. Even an everyday occurrence can be rendered fresh and exciting if you're seeking out the novelty in it. Above all, allow yourself to feel. Let yourself get lost in the moment. Examine those emotional responses within yourself. Read widely, learn all you can, live vibrantly. It's only by being that we can write about the human experience. Savor it. Look beyond what the words are saying. Try to feel what the poet was feeling as they wrote. A poem is ultimately a dialogue between the author and their audience. I have found the most profound truths produced by that discourse lie not in what the reader brings to the table, nor in what the poet has written, but rather in how the reader interprets the words, the symbolism, the mythology behind the poem. I have told you in part what my poems are about, and while that's wonderful context, I want readers to be able to see their own relationships with lovers and friends. To me, that is what renders a poem beautiful, when you can see some truth about yourself or the world you live in mirrored in it. I once found a little-known Lithuanian poet by the name of Leonardus Andrikis in my college's library at Baruch, and I've been in love with his work ever since. There are only 2 slim volumes of his poems as translated into English, and I am fortunate enough to own them both. The way Andrikis is able to make the quotidian profound is striking. His poems can be very local. He writes about Baltic amber and birch trees, but they're also very universal. They speak to truths about the human experience that readers across the globe can relate to. His work is lyrical. I particularly recommend the poem Loneliness from Amens and Amber. Yes. I thank you for asking that. I have a poem called Cli-Fi coming out in June. I believe it's in the Good Life Reviews Micro Monday feature, and I am very excited about that. It's coming out, I believe, on June 26th, so keep an eye out for that.